Hey cats, it's your midsole man EDDBUD here. Today we're taking some sneak peeks on some future running shoe releases. Straight into the action with a new version of the DV8 Nitro. This is the fourth iteration. It appears to use a similar tongue design to the Velocity Nitro 4, which has been very well received in all fairness. This one's got a very similar styling to the DV8 Nitro 3, and that's no bad thing. Just subtle changes here. The midsole is sculpted very differently, with a more pronounced cup around the heel of the shoe. Does remind me actually a little bit of the DV8 Nitro Elite 3 in terms of the way that midsole cups around the back of the foot. Carbon plate is visible on the underside of the shoe, along with some similar sculpting of the rubber as per the last version of this one. So no major shift here on the DV8 Nitro 4. Some subtle improvements maybe. It's impossible to say exactly what the foam might be. I mean, it would be great if it was a tad lighter. Maybe the newer version of the Nitro midsole material here that uses the ATPU formula will be present. Who knows? The last version was a tad denser, and a few people would have liked. No word on the midsole stack on this one. I would assume it's probably staying very close to what we had in the last iteration. That was a little lower actually than a lot of people measured it at. I always found it was like around a 6mm mark, but that's not really going to put it up against the Rocket X3 or anything. That's a race shoe, and I always found this one to be more of a trainer. So it's difficult to say just how much of an update this is. We'll have to get pairs in hand and on foot before we can say that. Whilst I was browsing around for cheap discount shoes for you guys, I stumbled upon this lovely Pharrell Williams version of the Evo SL. Brown overall main colour on these with lovely red hits. It had the human race branding on the heel and also comes with an extra set of red laces. I love this version. I will certainly grab it. It's just beautiful. It's exactly what I want for a lifestyle shoe. But I also stumbled upon another version of the Evo SL. This is the Evo SL EXO, a new version here of the same midsole and outsole but with an updated upper. The thinking behind this apparently is that some people found the Evo SL to be not breathable enough, and they've added some special additional structure to the upper that's apparently going to improve this. I can't say I'm one of those people. I think it was a quite breathable shoe really, perhaps even too much for the winter. It wasn't an issue for me, and it's not something I encountered on my testing of it. I think this new upper kind of detracts from the clean and simple nature of the Evo SL, and it makes it look a touch tacky. It's not as refined and subtle as the classic white on black or black on white standard versions. They've also removed the extra eyelets from the end of the chain, which won't make a runner's knot possible, and that's going to really upset some people. Maybe this is a lifestyle version. Why would you remove something like that runners look for as standard? No idea when this one's releasing, perhaps in 2026 sometime. Not sure if anyone really wants this update, and I'm not all that dead set on any of the colourways either. Some images here of the Nike Pegasus 42 have emerged, in which detail that the shoe has a full-length air zoom unit, perhaps similar to the Air Strobel board that was featured in some of Nike's recent basketball shoes like the Jordan 40. You've got the elf-like protrusion there at the back of the foot, a nod to the Pegasus 35 and 36. Looks like it could be React X in the midsole. There's nothing to suggest anything else. I mean, Nike would place Zoom X on there in big writing if it was that, but very, very clearly this isn't going to be Zoom X. Similar lace loops on the sides of the upper, and quite clean looking update from an upper perspective. I think with the foam plus full-length Zoom Air, it's not going to be a light shoe by any stretch. That means that probably a lot of people are still going to be avoiding this model and opting for the lighter and more nimble ones that we have from other brands. Also, take note of the more aggressive rocker in the forefoot here. That rocker begins much further back than the previous versions. It could indicate a slightly less aggressive drop. Perhaps they're not going to go with the 10mm, which is the standard really for the Pegasus. I'm sure the scientific sneaker soaring number crunching websites will be foaming at the mouth to get this one and chop it up and find out exactly what the drop is. We got one more on the show today. It's another Nike for you to take a look at. This is the Structure Plus, a stability-based shoe which does feature Zoom X, on the top layer at least. I believe that could be a first. I have to state, I'm not a guy that finds he needs stability-based shoes. They never seem to work all that well for me. I almost feel like they're working against me and they don't really feel all that comfortable to run in. Here we've got a layer of React X on top of a Zoom X footbed, so a combo of foams with that React X section cupping around the heel to facilitate some more controlled neutral landings. I mean, this is the typical way that they set up stability shoes so they control the foot strike a little bit. I'm always in two minds about that. You know, forcing yourself to do anything always makes it feel very unnatural. If you slowly introduce something into your life, it becomes more natural, you're more accustomed to it and it's less jarring. I'm not entirely sure that making yourself run in a certain way with a shoe is a good idea. I can't say I'm the biggest fan of the looks of this one either. It does have a slight clownish vibe, if I'm to be brutally honest, but a running shoe's all about performance, isn't it, than looks, so that's the main factor. Interesting, it's React X and Zoom X. I recall the Pegasus Turbo had a React and Zoom X combo back in the day, but that was a more up-tempo shoe. Perhaps that's the thinking here with the Structure Plus. It's like a slightly more nimble shoe for faster sessions, but if you need a little bit more guidance in terms of your foot strike, I really don't see this one being aimed as like a max stack cushion sort of shoe. Just a slightly more nimble version than the standard Structure option. The Zoom X might reduce that weight a little bit. So some very interesting new and forthcoming shoes there on the horizon. Which are you most excited to try out and why? Let me know down in the comments. Quick musical interlude for you. Whenever the weather starts to draw in, we've got those winter nights when it's cold, it's windy, I always dig out one of my favourites from that sort of period, the Black Rebel Motorcycle Club debut album. I love the intro to this album. You've got sort of wind noises, very much sets the scene, lots of echoey, distorted guitars, quite ethereal sort of sound, and it really does suit the current mood when you're out there running. There's lots of layers to the sound, lots of built-up guitar parts that are double-tracked. I really like the fact that they've got a couple of different singers as well. It does provide a little bit of variety across the album in terms of the vocals. Go and check it out, Black Rebel Motorcycle Club from the Black Rebel Motorcycle Club. Hope you enjoyed today's video, people. Let me know your thoughts on those new shoes. Hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up like. Also, if you're on your phone, if you go down to the comments section, and I believe you scroll to the left, there's an option to hype the video, which helps to get it out to more runners. My name's EDDBUD, and I'll be seeing you. Hey people, a quick bit of bonus footage here. I've noticed that Adidas have just put up a draw for that PrimeX Evo, I think it's called. That huge stack, like ultra shoe. It's a draw, you've got to like participate, and then if you win, you get to buy it for £450. It's kind of what they did with the Pro Evo 1 and 2, and everybody said that that shoe was, you know, never going to come out in terms of retail. It's just for like elites and stuff, but that didn't happen, and it is available for retail, and there's loads of pairs of it left. They're obviously launching it to coincide with rules, but it's way over the World Athletics stack height. Yeah, an odd one. I just thought you might be interested. Go and have a look. Maybe if you've got 450 quid lying around, you might want to enter the draw.